Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Justin Davidson, candidate for Silver Spring City Council Place 1, has announced that he is withdrawing from the May 5th election for City Council. In Davidson's official statement, he stated the following: "With disappointment, anger, and frustration, and against my better judgment, I must withdraw my candidacy for City Council. Small town big brother, you win," he said. "The personal threats against me and my family, including my elderly parents, is despicable," according to his announcement. "I may be a lot of things to a lot of people, but I have not threatened your family, so I have to protect them more than I can continue to help this city," he says. So again, you win, and you know who you are. At the end of the day, elected officials, you work with me and you are responsible to me and my city. Every first Tuesday, I will be there to keep you accountable, he states. The remainder of his statement can be read on KSSDradio.com. In 1 hour and 17 minutes, 5 candidates for 3 places on Silver Spring City Council presented opening and closing statements and answered submitted questions regarding their individual view of the past, present, and future of the city during a Thursday night candidates forum sponsored by Hopkins County Chamber of Commerce at the Silver Springs Middle School. Place 1 candidates challenger Erica Armstrong and incumbent Craig Johnson, along with candidates Place 2 Sarah Gibson and Jimmy Lucas, and Place 3 incumbent Oscar Aguilar, answered questions regarding budget, police and fire, and future development for the city. Absent from the forum were Place 1 candidate Justin Davidson, who has now withdrawn, and Place 3 candidate Norman Sanders. A letter from Sanders was read by forum moderator Chris Brown, Executive Director of the Architects Council of Governments and husband of Hopkins County Chamber of Commerce Director Leslie Brown. Sanders was not present, but was with his wife, who had had surgery Thursday. In the letter, Sanders did not speak to any city issues, but did state his reason for not attending. Davidson had withdrawn from the forum last week in a letter to KSST News. He said his campaign was not represented in the question choice. Questions asked by moderator Brown were drawn from a bowl. Brown then asked one question to the candidates in an individual race. If you missed the forum or desire to review the forum, go to KSSTradio.com. The complete forum video is presented. At noon Monday, April 23rd, the City Council of Silver Springs will meet in special session to discuss and take action on acceptance of the resignation by City Councilman Dan Fronneberger, Place 6. Fronneberger has been serving his first term on the council. If his resignation is accepted, the council will take steps concerning Place 6 in a future council meeting. Fronneberger resigned effective immediately on April 18th. He stated his reason for resignation was based on having lost, quote, "focus on God's will and the well-being of my family," unquote. Hopkins County Commissioners Court meets in regular session Monday, 9 a.m. in the first floor courtroom of the county courthouse. The meeting will include the approval of several utility easements as Farmers Electric Co-op upgrades electrical lines and distribution throughout the county. Monthly reports from county offices, the lease purchase of a motor grader for Precinct 2, and a number of other regular agenda items as needed are on the agenda. In work session, commissioners will review the Civic Center operations, environmental operations, subdivision regulations, maintenance of county buildings, and the construction of the courthouse annex adjacent to the county jail. They will also have a budget work session as County Judge Robert Newsom begins work on the budget for the next fiscal year. All work sessions will follow immediately after the regular session.
For the Northeast Texas Children's Museum in Commerce, we interviewed Director Charlene Freeman and the Board of Director President Donna Tavener. They have a silent auction coming up Monday night that's anything but silent. In fact, it's an event of the season. If you'd like to attend that at the Children's Museum, it's from 6 to 8 on Monday, April 23rd. It's a fundraiser.
Would you believe that our museum has been open for 16 years?
My goodness, it seems like the news just came out that you were opening such a thing as this.
Well, it's been a great 16 years. We are very pleased at where we are right now with the museum. We have experienced quite a bit of success. And in the last 2 years, we've had over 30,000 people visit our Children's Museum.
My goodness.
And of course, when you realize that the population of Commerce is 8,000, I think this is really unusual to be able to almost quadrupled the population of our town.
Well, in 16 years, those first children that came to visit have
grown up.
They're going to school
I know
now.
we continue to watch everybody grow up and outgrow us, but we are pleased that each year our radius of where our outreach has increased. This year we've had school groups from Denison, from Dangerfield, and from all over the metro. They come from Rockwall.
Okay.
And so we feel like we are reaching farther out each year. We had a group from Texarkana that recently came to the Children's Museum.
Wow. Charlene, I can tell that your voice is not its usual self today.
No, I think it's allergies.
Okay.
And I think that the people listening will understand and relate to that.
Sure. And I want to get Donna in on some of our conversation, too. What I don't know and need to really have spelled out is the Children's Museum's relationship to Texas A&M Commerce University.
Okay. Currently, we're housed in what used to be Watson Cafeteria. And they have very generously opened the doors for us to move there. And it's been a very great experience. We have lots of square footage, and they've been real supportive in everything that we've done at the museum. But we have had some issues because that building's quite old, and so we are in the process of beginning our fundraising so we can open a new building. And right now it looks as if we're going to be able to locate that new building on Highway 50 on some university property out in that area.
Wow, that is wonderful news, Charlene.
Yes. Now, part of our relationship with the university has been that we do pay a lease and we also pay for utilities. But it has been a good relationship with them. And we are very excited about our future. But we do have to raise the money to get the building built. So that's the task that we are now faced with.
Okay. The current location is like right across from the main entrances to the university.
Yes. And it has been a great location. It's very visible. And, you know, we consider our Children's Museum a miracle.
Tell me why you call it.
Well, there's no reason for it to exist in Commerce, Texas. Okay. And we are not in a large metropolitan area. We do not have a large donor that has given us a lot of money. But the museum has existed for 16 years. And so we really appreciate the support of the whole Northeast Texas area, because it's our communities of Sulphur Springs, Paris, Greenville, and then go a little farther to Rockwall and other communities. But we are there because of the support of Northeast Texas. And we are going to need that support as we move forward with the building.
Did you dream it up? Did you dream up this idea of a children's museum?
No. We've been open for 16 years. 8 years before that, a gentleman by the name of David Gibson, who was president of the Rotary in Commerce and also the pastor of the Church of Christ, took his children to a museum in Seminole, Oklahoma. And he was so excited, and he wanted one for the city of Commerce. But at that time, now this is 24 years ago, no one really knew what a children's museum was.
Okay.
And so he would take buses of people to Seminole, Oklahoma to see their museum. And that group met for 8 years before opening our children's museum.
Wow, what a...
And so our hat is off, our thanks, our appreciation to this group that are still around and still support the Children's Museum, that core group.
Amazing story. Mm-hmm. So I see why you call it a miracle. There is something that's about to happen, and Donna, I know you and the rest of the board have helped in making these decisions, a silent auction that's really an opportunity for the public to be involved in the museum's future.
That is correct. Monday night from 6 to 8 in the Student Center on the campus of A&M Commerce, we're having our 4th silent auction to raise funds for the building. In the past, those funds have gone to support programs at the museum, but we thought this year we needed to start on our building fund, so that's our main emphasis. We're really excited. Everyone calls it the social event of commerce because so many people come out and just enjoy a good time visiting with friends and at the same time helping the museum. We're really excited about some of the items we have this year.
Yes.
You know, A&M Commerce won a national championship in football back in the December.
Okay.
And Colby, the head football coach, has given us an autographed football with all the players, including their star quarterback, Luis Perez, which we're all excited about. So we will have that football to auction out along with an autographed poster. Lots of other A&M Commerce. The coaches are real supportive. They've given us camps for volleyball, for softball, for basketball, soccer, so some opportunities for people to be on camps. Some of the experiences that have been donated. We have a fossil hunt for 10 people. My boss actually is the one that is doing that. She's a geologist, and she takes kids either up to Ladonia area or up near the further the Red River, up near Denison for a fossil hunt, and that's been real successful. This year we have some horseback riding lessons. We have an art party, which is a huge success. Our local artist donates and invites children, and they have an art party, and it's just a lot of fun. A local businessman has donated a flyover, and one of our friends from Sulphur Springs has donated a taste of Sulphur Springs, and she's given us gift certificates to various restaurants downtown, so that's exciting. But there's something for everyone, from home decor to experiences to children's items. We have a market which will have some homemade goodies in there that you can purchase. So it's just an awesome opportunity for everyone to come out and have a nice evening to support the museum. And we're also having a raffle, and we've really emphasized the raffle. We have some great prizes this year. We have 4 $250 gift cards that will be put together for a $1,000 experience. We have a 60-inch TV, and we also have a Yeti package. So the merchants and banks and commerce have just been real generous to help us have this raffle, and we're selling raffle tickets for $5 or 5 for $20, and they will be available that night if you come to the auction.
Wow, it sounds like y'all have really gone out and overdone, and your sponsors and friends who donate the silent auction items. And it's Monday. Monday coming up.
So now we need everyone to come and see all the things that we have. It is such a variety of things. There definitely is something for everyone. And we need this support as we move forward to build a new children's museum for the people, the children in Northeast Texas.
I want to know, and I've never gotten to bring my grandchildren yet, because none of them live here and they only come for visits, and we haven't been able to work in a visit to the Children's Museum yet. But just for an average day, let's say weekend, when a parent would bring their children, what length of time do they spend in there? What is the usual path that they take?
We're open every day except Sundays and Mondays from 9:30 to 4:30. And it is so exciting and fun for those of us that are there to see the smiles on the children as they come to the Children's Museum. Some leave crying, and of course the parents are frustrated that they don't want to leave the museum, but we kind of like to see that they like us. But some come and stay all day, especially in the summer. So many of our visitors during the summer are parents and grandparents, and they may drive for an hour to come to the museum. And so they are going to spend some time there. But we have around 50 different play areas for the children, and our age range is like up to 8 or 9, although everyone is welcome.
Okay. Well, from your expression, Donna, about the how the public gets involved in your social evening, let's say, if what you want to call Monday night's auction, they have really embraced the Children's Museum in your town.
They have, and embraced from young adults, young parents to grandparents to just everyone, because they realize how important the Children's Museum is to Northeast Texas. It brings people into our community. It gives people in Northeast Texas an opportunity to drive an hour and have a great experience without having to go into Metroplex. It's just amazing. I've visited quite a few children's museums, and ours I've even been the one in Seattle, and ours is just as awesome as the one in Seattle, Washington, or the one in the Woodlands, which I visited with my grandchildren. But talk about children crying. My grandchildren were crying when they had to leave. They did not want to get out of the sandbox that we have out in our outdoor area and go home. So children just love it and just do not want to leave.
Besides the let's say usual daily visit, you do special events like the health
we have had a children's health fair. We do a daddy-daughter dance. We have a bridge event for women who like to play bridge. But we continue to think of things that children in Northeast Texas would want to participate in, because we want the children in this area to have the same opportunities as children who live in the Metroplex.
Okay. Well, and we want our Children's Museum to continue, and it may have to find a new home, as you mentioned, and so we will help from where we are right here in Sulphur Springs to help bridge that gap as you go forward. Your silent auction is this Monday evening. It's a very important event.
It is, and we would appreciate anyone coming out to support us.
Okay.
And because we do need the support of this entire area if we are going to be able to move forward and provide a new children's museum for the children in this area.
I know you already have a large facility. Can you picture a larger facility, or maybe just a refigured?
I think better use of the space that we have.
Okay.
We have an enormous space, and we utilize every inch on it. But I think we can just, redesign it and improve on some things. Because, like I said, we were a cafeteria, and we have a large open space, and we have wonderful centers. And the children get to use their imagination and be creative. They're not given electronics like some museums emphasize on. It's all about their imagination and their creativity, and they just have a ball.
Thank you for saying that, because there's great value in hands-on and imagination.
Definitely.
For kids. Thank you both for coming over.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
The Wildcats track team had 3 qualify for the regional track meet at an area track meet Thursday at Pine Tree. Wildcats track coach Matt Young tells us about the Wildcats at the area meet.
It was a really good day. Really excited for our kids, how they did, how they competed. It was a great day, great meet, great atmosphere joining up with that other district. Starting in the morning, 10 o'clock, the boys 2 mile, Landon Thornton was running against a great field, and they set the pace hot in a hurry. First lap was 1:07 for Landon, 67 seconds, which is, the goal is to be kind of 75 every lap. It just kind of gives you an idea how fast that one was. But he ended up running at 10:17, placed 7th. Not what he was hoping, but it was the second fastest time he's ever ran 2 mile. So pleased with his effort. Hate his season ended, but he's gotten around and seen this top level, and it'll be interesting to see what he does next year. In field events, we had our shot putters throwing at, I believe, 11:30 is when they threw. We had Jermond, Brian Amos, and Ian Blanche. They both came in, didn't throw as far as they've been throwing, but they actually finished higher than kind of where their numbers took them in. They finished 5th and 6th. Really kind of bummed out they weren't able to get the extra foot that they had thrown before to get to regional. A couple of guys were out there in the 50s, but then there was a guy sitting there at 44, 43 out there with them, and they just weren't able to get that throw to get them to advance. But they finished 5th and 6th in area. Good season for both those guys. Our last field event that we had Dietrich Godbolt in the high jump. Came in with a personal best of 6 foot. Has put in 2 great weeks of work, and looks up once he clears 6, and there's 5 guys left. And he ended up clearing 6.2 and 6.3 and took 3rd place. Wow. He actually beat the guy that got 1st in their district meet. Wow. So a really great day for Dietrich. Excited that he's going to get to advance, and just shows a kid that kind of stayed with it. He jumped with us as a freshman and sophomore, took his junior year to play basketball, didn't come out, just play basketball, and this year decided to come out and has hung with it, and so excited for him as a senior getting to advance. Now, when the running started, we had a first event that we had on the guys' side was the 800 meter with Eli Sellers. Ran a 2-minute .112. But personal best by a second, and he ended up 5th, the closest margin I've ever seen. When they actually crossed, we thought he'd caught the 4th place guy, and when you watch the video go across, you couldn't decide. It was going to actually have to be slowed down frame by frame. He ended up getting fifth by .008, so 8/1000ths of a second. And he's sitting fifth. There is a possibility with him he's an alternate. The guy that one of the top four is also a miler, so there's a possibility there that he may get to, and we hope to find out hopefully later today if he'll advance. So he's sitting as an alternate, just like Ian is in shot put. Okay. In the 110 hurdles, we had Colin Wade. Horrendous start, slow out of the blocks. Just for whatever reason, we're not sure exactly why. He was a yard behind everybody, but he ended up fourth. Clean run, ran a 15.6, not his best time, but a good time. And so our sophomore's getting to advance, and so we're really excited for him. Get to take him to Arlington and see what that next level's like. 400 meters, Ricardo Torres who advanced in the 400 for us. He didn't run like he'd been running. For whatever reason, just had a bad day for Ricardo. Followed that with our 300 hurdlers. We had Ryan Humphreys and Landry Tyson. Ryan had a great finish, maybe the best finish he's ran since he's been here. Ran a 40 point, ended up second. That's going to be Ryan's last meet. He qualifies to advance, so he's a regional qualifier, but he's not going to go because that'll be the final district ball game against Hallsville, which looks like for a district championship. And it's been that way basically forever in history of baseball track that matches up. So, but he took second. It was a great way for Ryan to go out. He's had a great track career for us, 3-time qualifier in the 300 hurdles. So, really good there. And then Landry Tyson came out like a madman and was leading it through 3 hurdles, tightened up a little bit. He struggled, clipped hurdle 4. But regained his composure, finished, ran a 41.1, or actually he ran 41.0 something, his fastest time, and ended up fifth. Well, with Ryan stepping out, he's the guy that gets to step in as the alternate. So Landry will get to go to regional and give us our third guy for sure that's going, with Eli possibly being a fourth as an alternate. We finished today in the 200 meters. Simeon Taylor ran. He had ended up qualifying because somebody stepped out. And he tied his best time, a 22.6. It just wasn't enough. It was a really fast race, and it was great. He had a great senior year for us. Really a neat group of seniors, Ian and Ryan and Simeon. They put a lot into the program. It's hard to get seniors to stay with it, and there's some other ones too that finished up at district. Just really happy for what they've invested and what they've done, and then excited with Kylan, K-Row Wade, Landry, and Diedrich getting to advance. So we go to Arlington next week and see what those guys can do.
The Lady Cats track team had 4 athletes qualify for the regional track meet at the area track meet at Pine Tree on Thursday. And Lady Cats track coach Tristan Abram tells us about the 4 qualifiers.
The benefit of the area track meet this year was that it was at a place that we had already ran and jumped 2 weeks ago, which was at Longview Pine Tree. Lady Cats did a great job of representing. In the long jump, which was one of the first events yesterday morning, Amani Taylor placed first. She actually, the story on this one is she went in as the best jumper, so therefore she was the last jumper. And her first attempt, she jumped 18 foot 2 inches, which was, I think, an inch shorter than what she jumped at the district meet. So right then, we were like, okay, she's good. And none of the other jumpers were anywhere near that at that point in time. And then Amani's next attempt, she jumped 18 feet, 6.25 inches. And again, nobody was near that jump. So the progression of the way that event goes is, as long as you get a mark, because there's 8 competitors, you get 3 more jumps after the first 3 attempts. Well, Amani only did those 2 jumps because Coach McCain decided that since the next closest jump was 18.1 and no one else was near 18.6 she didn't need to jump anymore. So that was the first time I had ever seen that done, for an individual to go out and in their first 2 jumps solidify that, okay, no one else is going to jump with me, so I'm going to be done. And it was really cool for her to be able to do that. Number one, because she has worked so hard to get to that level. And number 2, because unlike a lot of those other young ladies, she was also about to triple jump and high jump yesterday. So Amani did an unbelievable job yesterday, especially in long jump. And then she went on to, after that event, 30 minutes later, she was high jumping, and she actually placed fifth in high jump. And again, she did a great job there. I think she went over 5 foot, or that might have been where she went out, was at 5 foot. But she did a great job there. And then she went to, an hour after that, she went to triple jump. And she had to go triple jump, and she placed third in triple jump. Young lady from Roy City and a young lady from Mount Pleasant beat her out of triple jump. But Amani had a great day. Continuing to talk about her, she's our our first leg on our 4x100 meter relay, and she went out along with the other 3 girls in that event, and they placed first in the 4x100 meter relay. And the other young ladies in that event was Sadavia Porter, Abby Bear, and Nasiah Dugan. And they ran a really good time, it was they ran a 47.63, I believe. At our district meet, I want to say they ran a 47.5. After the race, just me being the coach that I am and seeing the time that they ran, I was able to tell them congratulations, but so start giving them some other suggestions, and those young ladies have been together long enough that they really took the constructive criticism very well, along with the compliment of great job of winning. But our next step here is to try to get out of regionals with those 4 young ladies, because this is the second year in a row that they've gone to regionals together in that event. So therefore, we're trying to get out of regionals and see if we can't progress to Austin, because they're actually running really, really well. And also other individuals, Sadavia Porter. She placed first in the 100 and first in the 200. Wow. She ran an 11.9 in the 100, and she ran a 24.9 in the 200. And with that being said, though that's really fast for individuals who don't know, that's really fast for a young lady to be running the 100 and 200 meters. And she actually, with those 2 times and those 2 events, she last night, there was some colleges there that actually, one gentleman said if she was a senior, I would offer her right now. But there have been some others that have shown interest in Sadavia, and it's been really cool to go on this journey with her. And she has worked so hard, and I'm extremely proud of her as well. Abby Bear placed second in the 100 meter hurdles, and she placed fourth in the 300 meter hurdles. So Abby gets to return to the regional meet, running those 2 events, as well as the 4x100 meter relay as well. And Nasiah Dugan, again, a young lady I mentioned earlier, she ran in the 4x100 meter relay, which advances. And going along with those young ladies, I want to mention this young lady is Breasia Ivory. Mm-hmm. Breasia ran in the 4x200 meter relay yesterday, and unfortunately we did not get out to the regional meet with those young ladies. But Bree has done a great job of coming out as a freshman and just trying to figure out what's going on with all this track stuff, because as a freshman or as an 8th grader, you go to a few meets and it's over. And now as I tell them, the area meet and the regional meet, those are the playoff games of track. So with her doing what she has done, I decided that I'm going to take her along with us to the regional meet as our alternate. So if the unfortunate situation occurs to where one of the other young ladies won't be able to compete, we have another person there that can run with them, and I think Breasia is very well deserving of that. And I think that if she does have to step in and compete, she will be able to handle her own business in that sense. So I just wanted to mention her along with those other young ladies, and I'm really proud of them. They've worked hard, and I really feel like they all deserve what they've gotten. And the next task here is to see if we can get 1, 2, or 5, to go to Austin to compete, which will be really, really nice.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.